require more than an impromptu speech or an off-the-cuff attempt at a political campaign. It'll require a thorough assessment of the uphill challenge that we face and a thoughtful plan that allows us to make measurable progress in reasonable time. It'll also require a commitment by people who are dedicated and driven by values of family, faith, and freedom. Since the beginning of time, mankind has had to continuously struggle to be free from the subjugation of others. Others who seek at any cost to rule over and control the people. A short study of world history shows us that more people have died in the struggle for liberty than anything else in the history of the world. Sometimes that struggle has come on a battlefield as people fought for their rights, and in some cases that struggle has come literally under the weight of iron shackles and bondage and servitude. I believe that there's an inherent desire for everybody to want to be free. I think for this reason that I believe that the issues that threaten the freedom and stability of future generations of America are issues that actually cross party lines. A little over 8 years ago, Americans were introduced to the idea of hope and change. Since then, however, so many Americans have come to learn that it takes more than a catchy campaign slogan to strengthen our confidence in the future of our nation. For example, people in 2008 who believed the new administration would bring hope are now forced to realize that instead, the new administration just brought them a larger degree of national debt that they're going to have to burden over the next several years, and their children as well. In fact, over the last 8 years, the previous administration increased the national debt upwards of 87%. And at current levels, and under the current laws, the median income earner would have to work for over a decade just to pay off their share. Our national debt is just the tip of the iceberg. Currently, taxpayers are also on the hook for a much larger amount of unfunded liabilities to the tune of $106 trillion. The median income earner in America would have to work for over 55 years to pay that off. I believe a strong argument can be made that more of our liberty has been taken from us through our pocketbook than from almost anywhere else. The more money we send to Uncle Sam every year, the less money moms and dads have to provide for their families. The more money we pay in taxes, the less money we have to take with us to the marketplace. And when we get there, the less economic freedom we actually have. Our federal government has become so addicted to spending that in recent years we've seen an unprecedented amount of government growth, while back at home, families and job creators brace themselves for yet another round of economic beatings. Here's the simple economic truth. Money works a lot like food. The more money we send to the government with taxes every year, the bigger and stronger our government grows. The more money we leave in our pockets and in our wallets for our local economy to absorb, the stronger, more robust, and vibrant our economy is going to be. It's really a very simple truth, yet this ever so clear and logical fact continues to elude the reasoning of a majority of politicians on both sides of the aisle. If our politicians would just look to the U.S. Constitution as a guide, they wouldn't be spending as much money, and we wouldn't be anywhere near as inefficient as we've been. For example, the IRS spent over $17 billion in tax credit payments last year, and that $17 billion went to people that didn't even qualify for the tax credit programs. While veterans line up to receive care from hospitals that are often understaffed or in need of serious upgrades, the VA spent $8 million on solar panels that were installed, never used, and then taken down to make room for a new parking garage. The Department of State spent $250,000 to support Moroccan biodiversity to help Morocco go green, and at the same time they spent another $5 million just to handle a single Twitter account. It pales in comparison to the previous examples, but when you consider the fact that the National Science Foundation spent more than $400,000 of taxpayer dollars on research on a paper that argued that glaciers are best studied using feminist theories, you might really begin to wonder what $7 billion of taxpayer money is doing going to the National Science Foundation rather than being left in the wallets of the hardworking Americans who earned that money in the first place. In 2015 alone, federal agencies ignored the law and failed to report to Congress more than 1,000 new major rules, each one costing the U.S. economy more than $100 million.